Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to be doing an editing tutorial slash walkthrough, and I'm going to be having my voice over the video so y'all can know what I'm doing at all times. So I'm going to pose my avatar, take the picture, go on Photoshop, edit the picture, and y'all are going to see how I do the whole process or whatever. I haven't done this type of video since last year. When I did do this, a lot of y'all liked the video. And then also I posted a picture on my Instagram, which I ain't gonna lie, I'm finna delete it soon. But I posted a picture on my Instagram maybe a couple days ago or a week ago, and someone DM'd me and was just like, oh, can you do another editing tutorial? And I was just like, I got you. So that's what this video is gonna be. Also, disclaimer, my settings are still the same. The only thing I changed was my win light, my reshade preset, and I turned my field of depth down a little bit because when I would zoom in on like certain things, like maybe her nails or her face, it would get blurry. I'm like, bro, why is it doing that? So I had to do something in field of depth. Yeah, like that didn't make sense. And then, like I said, I did my win light and my reshade preset because y'all, I tried to record this video prior, and when I would go to other places, I like the lighting in my house. Like it would be nice and bright in my house. But you gotta remember, when you have realistic lights or realistic lighting on your game in the house, obviously, realistically, if you're in the house, you're in the shade. And you go outside, you're not in the house, the sun is gonna be beaming on you and it's gonna be super duper bright. But it was super duper bright to the point where everything was like white. It was blinding me, it would have blinded y'all. So I changed it because it was just super duper duper bright. Speaking of my settings, like I said, my settings are still the same. I just changed my reshade and my win light. A lot of people were asking in my previous video, like, who was the person you bought your settings from? Can you at least tell us where you got them from? Can you tell us your settings? And like I said, I couldn't get my settings out, for one, because I bought personal settings from somebody, meaning that they didn't want their settings to be given to the public. So I paid $10K for their settings. And if I paid $10K for their settings, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not gonna get those out for free because I had to pay those coins for that. The person I bought them from, they seen all the comments. Like I was telling them, like, bro, so many people asking for your settings, they want your settings. So he decided to give them out to the public now. So like I said, they are $10K. So if you're not willing to pay $10K for Black Dragon settings, then these settings aren't for you. The only time you will get settings for real is like if you really know somebody and they'll give you their settings or help you with your settings, or if you go to somebody else, they probably gonna charge you too. I know somebody else that has good settings, and their game kind of looks like my Firestorm game. Remember when I showed y'all that video of me dancing? Their game looks like that, and they were charging like 13K or something. So people do be charging for their settings, so it's nothing new. But like I said, if y'all are interested in my settings, DM me. So the pose I was thinking about involves holding a drink. So I was like, I'm gonna hold this. This is like a inspiration of a Chick-fil-A cup kinda, and this is so cute how it has a little wrapper on it still. I was gonna take my pictures at Backdrop City, but we ran into some difficulties and I couldn't find a good place to take my pictures at Backdrop City. We just gonna take them at the house. I didn't want to take them at the house. Like I promise y'all, this was not my first result to take them at the house. This will do for now. So, or maybe I should have her like this. So this is what I'm going for, I guess, for the scenery. I want her back facing all of this stuff back here, and yeah, I don't know. The pose that I'm going to be using is by OG, and it is called Morning Drink, and it is currently located at the Anthem event. Landmark and other details will be in the description, so if you are interested in the pose that I'll be using in this video, make sure y'all check that out. Yeah, we finna be using her pose because why not? So I was already going through these before, and I think I like 4. I liked 4. Ooh, 5 is cute too. Or 6. I like 5 only because her nails are showing. Maybe I can do 5 because I was gonna do 4 at first. I like 4 too. I don't know which one I want to use. I think I'm gonna use 5. I'm gonna use 4 another day, but I'm gonna use 5 for this video. Okay, let me see which way I want her to look. Let me turn my AO off. I want her looking this way, like this. A little bit. Okay. And I want her smiling. Let me move this down. Put this up. Or what about if I do it like... Okay. So this is what I use like for her mouth. I don't really use this for nothing else. Maybe eyebrows, but that's about it. For her eyes, I don't use this. So we're gonna do poser, start posing, and then let me move her hand down a little bit so it's like under her chin, I guess. So what is this? This the left hand? Okay. So elbow. All right, let me see. Maybe wrist. I could do this and then I could move her neck. Like that's really all I be moving through. It's like the fingers or the arms and the neck. That's it. So let me see. Oh, this is cute. Wait, let me move her arm down just a little bit because this looks kind of like awkward. Like you're not moving your hand like this. It's because I tilted her wrist down. Then let me fix her wrist. But what is she looking at though? Let me see. Okay, she kind of looking at the thing. All right, so this gonna be the picture. Try to zoom in a little bit, try to get it up. Hide my HUDs, and to take screenshots, I do print screen. So this gonna be the picture. And when you screenshot it, it copies to your clipboard. You can either send it to an alt account if you have on Discord, which is what I do, or when a little pop-up thingy pops up on your computer, you click the little dots and then click like save image. Or another way to take pictures is you could take pictures in reshade. I don't typically do this, but I'm gonna show y'all that way as well. So if you're using reshade, G-shade, press whatever button it is to make your little menu pop up. Go to your settings and then your screenshot key. I'm gonna put it on X because this is what I use on the Sims. Close that. So now if I take a screenshot, this is the screenshot I'm gonna show y'all. So this is the screenshot. As you see, it has all the HUDs and extra stuff on here. Like no, so that's why I don't use this. So this is the picture I just took and you see it's cropped out. So yeah, this what we finna use. And now we finna open up Photoshop and I'm gonna do like my little baby edits that I do on the computer before I start editing on my iPad. So once you get into Photoshop, you're gonna press open, click on your image, screenshot, whatever, open it up. And because I screenshotted it, I feel like this is as much as I want it cropped. I could crop it a little bit. Matter of fact, I'm gonna crop it a little bit, just a little bit. And then you do image, crop, and it crops it. So let me deselect that and click something else because I'm tired of this little thing, like a little crosshair. After this, like I said, this is all I do. Go to filter, sharpen it a little bit. And then if you don't like, say if you take a picture and it's too dark or it's too bright, you can go to edit. No. You go to image, adjustments, and do like brightness / contrast. Or you could do curves and you can lighten up the image a little bit. Matter of fact, this is perfect. I'm not gonna make it no lighter, no darker. This is like the perfect, like, you know. And yeah, that's it. So now we're gonna export this to my Creative Cloud so that way I can be able to use it on my iPad or open it up on my iPad. So you're gonna go to save as and do Photoshop because you have to do save to cloud documents. And this is just gonna be called edit. I don't know what else to call this, and I can't spell. So this is called edit. These are all the other things that I've edited. Literally all the rest of the stuff I didn't edit it, like everything on my Creative Cloud. And then you're gonna press save, and now it's on your Creative Cloud. So when I open up my iPad, it's gonna be right there. Okay, so as you can see, so right here, I'm about to start outlining my chin, but in order to do that, I use a certain point, and it is the 3 point. As you can see, I'm struggling to get to the 3 point, and me personally, I feel like the 3 point is the best to do outlines and stuff. So right now, I'm just drawing the line for her chin. I always start off with the chin too. That's another thing. I don't know. I'm very particular. Like I go in like a certain order when I edit. I don't know. That's just me. So I like to get that chin line out the way, and then I'm gonna start working on her fingers because they're right next to her face. It would only make sense, right? So I'm outlining her fingers. Trying to be as precise as I can. That's why y'all see me erasing, making sure I redraw certain lines because they gotta be somewhat perfect. Now, when you draw in little minor details like hair, stuff like that, it don't really gotta be perfect, because the less perfect it looks, the better it looks. But when it comes to outlines and stuff, which is what people kind of see the most, you kind of want to make sure it's perfect. Otherwise, it's going to look crazy. The only thing I did not do that I noticed is I did not go over her rings. But when I was editing this, I didn't think to do that. Like, I seen her rings right there, but I just didn't feel like, oh, let me edit these. Like, I don't know. Next time, especially if her hands are by her face or like in view, I'm gonna sit there and make sure I do her fingers and her rings if she has on any jewelry and stuff. Also too, I don't know if y'all just seen, but when I do certain edges, I try to be precise with erasing too and make the points sharp, kind of like a needle, instead of them being dull, I guess you could say. Like when it comes to the fingers and stuff like that, I always make sure I erase. So y'all will see me draw a line and then I will erase, trying to make the end of the point pointy. Like it looks more real when you do it like that. The one thing I do hate when it comes to me editing is y'all can see her nails, the ends of her nails are white and the cup is white. So depending on the lighting, if I can't really tell where her fingernail ends and when the cup starts, I might accidentally outline the wrong thing. Like it might not be as precise as it's supposed to be. Sometimes I be realizing that and I be like, dang, I didn't even draw this right. So make sure you pay attention to that too. Cause once you get to adding shadows and highlights and stuff, you're gonna be like, this don't even look right. And then you might have to go back and erase and redraw your outlines. So then after you finish your outlines, you're going to put the opacity on 50%. Sometimes I do soft light, but sometimes when you do soft light, you can't really see it. Most of the time, if I'm doing outlines and I still want them to be visible, I put them on like 50% opacity. So you still could see it, but it's not super duper dark. So now I'm just doing more outlines. I just did like the little line in between her thighs, because at first it didn't look like she had no line right there. And then I'm doing her arm. Now I'm adding the shadow under her neck. Can't forget that neck, y'all. Please don't forget that neck. And I'm just like shaping the shadow, because you can't just have the shadow looking any kind of way. So I'm trying to see with Gaussian blur if I want the shadow to be dark or if I want it to be kind of light. And then once you pick how dark you want your shadow to be, clean it up and erase the extra shadow that's on the other parts that you don't want it on. So right now I'm fixing her hair. This is why I love this little AI tool on Photoshop. Like when I be having certain problems with my avatar, like say if her skin going through her clothes, or say if her hair is messed up in her face or something, I love using that tool to fix her hair, to make it look more realistic. And then now, as you could just see, I added shadow underneath her little bang to make it look realistic. And then I went back and erased the extra that was on top of the hair, because I don't want the hair to look super dark right there, just underneath her eye, just underneath her bang. And now we're adding more shadow for the hand, for the fingers. And I'm trying to be precise in erasing the shadow in front of the line. So you have to really pay attention when it comes to shadows. I think I said this in my other video that I did a year ago. Like when you draw shadows, in order for shadows to look like shadows is you have to draw your outline depending on the body part, or like if it's a crease or if it's something bent, you have to draw the outline and then the shadow goes underneath the line. The shadow goes underneath the line. So when you do your Gaussian blur, it looks like it's shadow under that body part. For instance, the fingers, it look like it's shadow underneath the fingers now. The only thing is I did not go over with highlight for the fingers. Most of the time when it comes to for video's sake, like editing, some steps I be missing, I'm not gonna lie. But what I should have did was, you see how I'm doing the shadow underneath the lines? With highlight, you would take white and draw above the line. So that way it looks like it's the fingers are shining, I guess. And then underneath the fingers is shadow. Now I'm being precise again, make sure I erase certain parts so that it don't mess up the shadows for underneath the fingers. So y'all are gonna see when I finally get to drawing this cup, y'all, I'm gonna struggle. It may not look like it. I don't know if y'all could be able to tell, but I'm going to struggle drawing this cup. I hate going over super duper duper straight lines, like the fingers and stuff. I don't care about outlining them and they don't look perfect, because I feel like that kind of makes it look better. But when I have to draw stuff like, say if it's like a door, or say if it's like a box, I'm tracing a box, like it's perfect. I hate tracing stuff like that, because I know I can use something to draw the straight lines, like to make them look more straight, but I just hand draw everything. So when I have to hand draw super duper straight lines, I hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. Like I really hate it. At this point, I'm just going over the fingernails, because if I don't go over the fingernails, it kind of looks weird. Like it kind of looks from a distance, it's kind of like her nails are blending with her skin. I don't know how to explain it. So for realism, I don't have an explanation for everything that I do when I be editing. Like I just feel like it's the right thing to do. So now I'm adding highlight to her nose. I love adding highlight to her nose. The one thing I can say about this skin is her nose is straight. So when it comes to me adding highlight, it actually looks good. My old skin, when I used to have my Asian inspired avatar, the skin was, first of all, an old skin. Like even the creator said it was an old skin. And her nose was kind of crooked a little bit. So sometimes when I would add the highlight to her face, like her nose, it would look kind of crazy. But anyways, now I'm adding highlight on her chin to make her chin pop. Like if only y'all seen the difference it just made. And then I'm gonna do it on both sides. So I'm doing it on the other side now, even though this kind of don't look right. But if y'all see people edits on Instagram and stuff, y'all know y'all be seeing people be having a little white faded glow on both sides of they like cheeks or chin. So that's why I'm doing it, because most of the time I just do one side. And now I'm adding some shadow for her lip, like her upper lip, to give it some more depth and realism. Then I'm adding some underneath her bottom lip to give it some more realism, and then making sure to erase the excess that don't need to be there. But now I'm using that little AI tool again, and I'm fixing her hair on the side to make it blend. Y'all see how it just blended? So yeah, back then, before Photoshop added that little extra stuff, I used to have to draw over the stuff to make it overlap and look good. Now I don't have to do that no more. So now I'm just adding some highlights to her hair. I know somebody that asked me to do this video. They wanted to know like what I do when I do hair. For the most part, I don't really draw hair for real. Some people take pictures of their avatar and their avatar be bald head and then they draw their hair on. I don't do that. I don't know how to do that yet. Will I know how to do that in the future? Probably. Do I know how to do that now? No. Yeah, this is all I do. I just fix little glitches with like the hairline or if it's going through the face. And then I add shadow to the hair to make it look like it's on my avatar, the shadow underneath her hair. And then I might add wisp, which is like random strands of hair. And that's about it. Now I'm gonna add some shadow for this thigh crease because it don't look like it's nothing there. It actually wasn't nothing there. And then we just gonna erase. And I ain't gonna lie, this line not even straight, but I was like, you know what? It is what it is. I guess that make it look real. Like her thigh is not even straight. Like the line I drew, it's not straight. Oh well. Nobody really pay attention to stuff like that. I feel like if you're not really an artist for real, you don't pay attention to certain details with edit. But if you really an artist and you know how to edit, then you probably do pay attention to stuff like that. So now I'm drawing this cup. Y'all gonna see me erase about 10-15 times. The side and the bottom part was so easy to draw. And then I was like, you know what? I gotta do this cup in portions because I can't do it all at once because it's not gonna look right. Then I sat there and overlapped it and was like, let me just erase to kind of get the line to look right. Then let me go over it again. Like, you know? So yeah, I hate drawing stuff like this. Like, so serious. But I knew it had to be done. Otherwise, the cup would have looked invisible. And she got on a white shirt too. So she got white nails, white tip nails, white shirt, and a white cup. Like, I had to outline the cup. It wouldn't make sense if I didn't outline the cup. Now, maybe if she had on like a black shirt or like a different color shirt, then I probably wouldn't have outlined the cup. Like, I could have been like, oh, well, I'm going to skip the cup. So now I'm adding shadow to the bottom and the side of the cup, erasing, making the points pointy and sharp. I could have did more details with the cup, but I just didn't. Like, I don't know. I got lazy with the cup, I ain't gonna lie. But everything else though is fine. But with the cup, I got lazy with, I can admit. So now I'm just erasing the excess shadow that's on the inner cup. Also too, I could have made that shadow darker, but I didn't. But y'all get the point. Like, y'all get that it's a shadow, so. I don't even think I did a shadow underneath her thumb, like the thumbnail that's right there. That junk looked crazy, but I didn't even do a shadow for it. I'm telling y'all, I be forgetting steps when I be editing for YouTube and I be having to record me edit, y'all. I be forgetting certain steps. I do. Like, I think it's just a natural thing. But now I'm just adding a line for this crease under her boob to make it stand out a little bit. So I'm just shaping it. The shirt didn't really have that many creases. If the cup wasn't right there, then obviously I would have did both sides, but the cup is covering that side. So that's why I just did this one that's showing. So now I'm adding the shadow, erasing, trying to shape the shadow. Like, you really have to shape the shadow. Like, you can't just draw a shadow and do Gaussian blur and expect it to look right. Like, no, you have to shape the shadow. And then I'm going back in and I'm erasing. And then I'm turning that down because that's too dark. New layer. So now I'm gonna do some details for the shirt to make it pop a little bit. So I'm just doing like a thin line, Gaussian blur, and then I'm gonna erase above the shadow. Like where the shadow is supposed to be under the shirt, kind of, sort of. I'm erasing the shadow above that. Like when I be doing certain edits and stuff, like certain steps, I wonder if y'all be seeing the process. And then now, because she has on, like, what is this called? Like frigid, shredded. I don't know what this is called, but I'm editing that and adding shadow to that. So it gives it depth and realism, so it's not blending in with her legs. Obviously the shorts are like a greenish color, but still, like you can see it pop. And then I'm just going back in and I'm erasing. And y'all, when I was erasing this, I could not hardly see this stuff. I was just erase it, just erase. Y'all go see me go in and like I over erase some stuff. So then I'm gonna go and like smudge certain stuff because I over erased. So now I'm going in and I'm smudging certain areas that didn't look right. That's also another thing when it comes to editing. When you edit stuff, you might have to go back in and fix your mistakes. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like that's normal. So if you do get to editing, even if you're on PC, you edit and you have to go in, fix something, and you like, oh, I didn't do this right, I gotta redo this. There's nothing wrong with that. I promise you, because I do it. I've been editing for I don't know how long, and I still make mistakes doing that. So now I'm doing the little shadow part for the shorts. But this time it's going to be above the shorts. And then the excess I'm going to erase under the line for the shorts. If y'all can see what I'm saying. Now I'm adding some shadow underneath the little zipper part that's open. These shorts are so cute. I think it might be a Par and Pox collab. So now I'm just erasing excess shadow. And then I'm gonna go and add some highlight to the jeans or to the shorts to make them pop a little bit. Then I'm adding some more highlight for the shirt. Not that much though. Now I'm adding shadow underneath her hair. So it looks like there's shadow on her shirt. And what I tried to do right here is I tried to get the little tool thing to make more hair appear right there, but it didn't work. Sometimes the little AI tool thing does not work. So for the most part, it does though. Like for hair, when I need to fix like glitches with the hair, it works. So that's why right here, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to draw this because I was like, that kind of looked crazy. So y'all gonna see me color matching the hair because the hair is like it's really black, but in a picture, it looks like a dark brown. So make sure you color match because you could think, oh, well, the hair I'm wearing is black. Then you use black and then on the picture, it don't look right. The color too dark. So, you know. So then I started deleting some layers because I was like, what are these layers? I don't need these layers. And then I tried to see if it was going to work again and it still didn't work. So I said, all right, bet I'm going to just draw it for real for this time. So then now I'm going to add little highlights to kind of match the highlights already in the hair right here. And when I'm done with this, I'm going to add some wisp, some hair strands to make it look even better. Like these little small details, I don't know if y'all didn't see me edit, I don't even know if y'all would notice that I did these little details like with the hair and stuff or like with the clothes and all that. So now I'm gonna start drawing the wisp because it do look weird, like it's cut off at her shirt. It look like her hair is tucked in her shirt. Like I was like, man, let me draw these wisps. I'm trying to get them connect. See right here, when you draw hair wisps, they do not have to be perfect. Like they really don't. When it comes to like curly hair, sometimes you might want to do the same curl pattern as like the hair you have on your avatar. But for the most part, it do not gotta be perfect. The less perfect it is, the better it looks, I promise you. It's been times where I had to draw her edges, like not actual edges, but y'all know when they be having the fluffy edges on the side. In the past, I didn't have to draw that. Like y'all thought like maybe in my thumbnails or something, her hair was wispy like that on the side. No, I drew that. And then I drew a little bit where her bang is. And then I'm drawing some on the other side. Now I'm adding some shadows to her hair to make it look better. But then I realized like when I zoomed out, I was like, this don't look right. So then I had to go in and erase a little bit, then Gaussian blur for it to look right. Otherwise, it didn't look right. So now I think I'm just adding little baby details, and I just added like a little light on her face to make it a little brighter. I never really did that before, but I just feel like it needed to be done. Then I went back and I was like, let me see if I can add a little shadow right here where her hand is, because it is over her chin. But I didn't want it to be like too dark, because that looks crazy. So I was like, I just wanted it to be like a little dark, just a little bit. And then I'm going back in erasing, and I still didn't touch those rings. I had so many times to edit the rings and I didn't do it. So now I'm adding shadow for behind her. Y'all know I love adding shadow for the background. And then I'm just erasing on her legs and on her hand in the cup very precisely. And also, y'all notice I didn't outline her arm or her legs. Normally I do that, but this time I was like, I don't feel like doing that. I don't gotta do that. Sometimes when I feel like I need to, then I'll do it. But I was like, I don't really need to do that. So that's why I didn't do it. So also, I didn't make the shadow too dark. I feel like it's just right. Okay, so this is the end of the edit. This is the final product. So like I said, y'all could go on my Instagram. I did post this picture on my Instagram. Yeah, this is how I edit my pictures. This is like an updated tutorial, kind of, sort of. I guess you could say this is a tutorial, because I guess I am giving y'all tips on how to edit and do certain things. So yeah, but this is not like an actual tutorial, like step 1, do this, step 2, do this. So I feel like that's unreal if I was to make a tutorial like that. So like I said, hopefully y'all was able to get some good advice and good tips, editing tips out of this video, because like I said, people have been asking me to do another editing video, and I did one, and I needed to do one. Hopefully this video was helpful. Like I said, don't forget the pose that I used for this picture and the thumbnail and all that is by OG. The landmark is in the description if y'all want that pose. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will be back with another video.